On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Different types of white men, black. Just look it up. Look up.
You
women
haven't
hitting the
even
wall.
looked it up. You
Going
just
to a bar.
said it.
Okay. Can you please be quiet for 1 second?
Anton, you told her to look it up.
If you look up woman hit the wall on YouTube, for example, you will see men from all different ethnicities having conversations about it. So it's not just in a silo of black men or anything like that. It literally is being talked about. As a matter of fact, one of the people that I hear talk about it a lot is a guy named Entrepreneurs in Cars, and he's a white bald-headed guy. He's a very decent looking dude, and he drives a McLaren, and he talks about it, and he does a lot of coaching with men across the board, and he has conversations, and he's on panels and talking to men, a lot of that anyway. So it's not just a cultural thing. It's a thing. It's a basic understanding between what the desire of what men want and what men look for in women versus what women look for in men. It's a very simple thing to understand. And if you listen to it, it makes a lot of sense.
So then you're hitting a wall. Also, we know for a fact that when a woman ages, her appearance, her attractiveness, her looks tend to decline. Whereas a man, I don't know why Kayla making that face, but whereas a man who continues to invest and build himself up financially, hitting the gym, attractiveness, whatever else, because I could swear for buttermilk, Ronald Isley was like the ugliest thing until he did that verses, and then all of y'all was sitting up there like, oh my God. You know, now all of a sudden this what y'all call them, Papa Smurf and all this other stuff, whoopty woo blase please. So when a woman hits the wall, the wall is more or less her age, and it's also her attractiveness and her usefulness to a man in terms of her womb. So why we sitting up here acting like y'all ain't never heard this before?
Let me clarify for him a little bit more.
I never heard of this, honestly. I swear.
Let me clear.
Hold on, ladies. Hold on, ladies.
He hit every point directly. He is exactly right. But let me give y'all a little bit more clarification. Y'all are familiar with the sexual marketplace value, right? Yes? No?
You guys, ladies, you can nod or blink one time.
Are y'all familiar with the sexual marketplace value?
Just blink if you know it's SMV.
Yes, no. Do y'all want to talk? No. Okay, no. All right. So this is basically what the sexual marketplace value is. What women desire in men.
Is this Kevin Samuels terminology?
Come on, Kay.
No, this is life. This is honestly sexual marketplace value has been around way before Kevin Samuels got popular.
Oh, okay.
Real talk. All right. So sexual marketplace value is largely the thing that men desire in women, and the things that women desire in men is two different things, right? Largely, let's just say for the sake of conversation, in order to expedite this, women desire a man's ability to provide and protect, which means that his ceiling or his ascendance into that comes much later in life, right? Your earning potential as a man explodes, and it doesn't even start to decline until maybe your 60s, depending on whenever it is that you retire or whatever like that, right? So as a man continues to age, he becomes more desirable from women because that's the time, or his peak is much later in life. Whereas the thing that men desire from women often aligns with what she looks like. And her peak comes much earlier. So she ascends much faster, whereas a guy is doing like this in his 20s and a woman is doing like this in her 20s, right? And then she's slowly declining once she hit that wall, and a guy continues to ascend because of the desirability of what it is that women are looking for. So that largely feeds into what the wall is, or what men identify as the wall, because what's desirable for men obviously is something that's coming in a woman that is not past a certain age or whatever, when you look at it on the grand scheme of things. Does that help a little bit?
Have you ever looked up this SMP? Have you ever just
it's called SMV, first of all, but go ahead.
SMV, sorry, I misspoke. That was my bad. SMV, have you ever looked it up?
Well, no. What are you talking about?
I'm just asking. Have you ever looked it up?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay,
Have
looked
you
up what?
ever
You want me to look up? You want me to look up the?
Googled sexual marketplace value?
I have not, Kay.
Oh, okay. I can tell.
You know what it is because you told me you wasn't.
I just Googled it real quick, and it's it's a talking point that certain online communities have. It's not like a thing that
It is a thing.
You said you haven't ever looked it up. How do you know?
What does that mean?
Well,
That
wait,
does not
wait,
have
wait.
anything to
Hey,
do with the
look
Look up
conversations that's
means
being had.
type on Google.
Wait. Do
Okay,
we
you
need-
can look whatever it is that she
or whatever.
Rilla,
wait.
don't argue with her. Don't argue.
I
Don't
just-
do it, Rilla.
See
Don't do it,
what
Rilla.
Anton
Rilla,
does
don't
every
argue with her.
time somebody is making a point.
Don't argue with her, Rilla, because just
This
because
is
she doesn't,
crazy.
just because she thinks the way she thinks does not make it any
It's
less
not
true.
me thinking the way I think. I literally just did a quick Google search, a quick one. And
What does that have to do with
What does
anything?
that have to-
it has to do with a lot because this is a very subjective thing. It's a talking point in the pickup artist, manosphere, all these communities. It's very subjective, and you all have just run with it as if it's some kind of scientific. What?
Okay.
We've had
Anton,
hold on,
you
stop,
gotta let
Rilla,
me say
stop,
this,
Rilla,
man.
stop, Rilla. Stop, Rilla.
Hold on, Rilla. When you
We've
get
had a-
finished, I'm gonna go to the other two
We've
ladies.
had a million
Q and
conversations
Kayla,
on this
and see what
platform,
they think.
specifically detailing what women want from men and what men want from women, and largely it aligns with what it is that I just said.
And these are all
right?
opinions, fine.
All right,
Hold on,
go
y'all.
ahead, JR.
Hold on, y'all.
Go ahead, keep it
Kayla,
moving.
Kayla,
We're not
Kayla
gonna
and
waste
Q.
time.
Kayla and Q. Your
Honestly,
thoughts.
swear to God, I've never heard the terminology "the wall" at all. But I get what Anton is saying. Our value kind of goes down the older that we get. I look better the older I get. So, where he said that usually women, I mean, not Anton, but Rilla said the older women get, they kind of digress how they looks wise, body wise, whatever. But I get what you're saying. Like the older men get, of course, they're gonna go up in status, maybe, or money wise. So some women of that's 20s, they might want older women. Whereas the opposite, if we're getting older, I mean, the less likely of us having kids is gonna happen. So we're not really as desirable. So I get what Anton, but I've never heard it called the wall or whatever that SMV I was talking about. I've never even heard that ever. Maybe that's the East Coast terminology or something. I don't know.
No, it's pretty standard. It's
Facebook.
standard across.
I mean, it's a
all
niche
different cultures.
internet.
It's not a niche. It's
terminology.
standard across all different cultures, all different
Go into a barber shop,
ethnicities,
please.
different types of white men, black. Just look it up. Look up
You
women
haven't
hitting the
even
wall.
looked it up. You
Go into a
just
bar.
said it.
Okay, can you please be quiet for 1 second?
Anton, you told her to look it up.
Q, if you look up woman hit the wall on YouTube, for example, you will see men from all different ethnicities having conversations about it. So it's not just in a silo of black men or anything like that. It literally is being talked about. As a matter of fact, one of the people that I hear talk about it a lot is a guy named Entrepreneurs in Cars, and he's a white bald-headed guy. He's a very decent looking dude, and he drives a McLaren, and he talks about it, and he does a lot of coaching with men across the board, and he has conversations, and he's on panels and talking to men, a lot of that anyway. So it's not just a cultural thing. It's a thing. It's a basic understanding between what the desire of what men want and what men look for in women versus what women look for in men. It's a very simple thing to understand. And if you listen to it, it makes a lot of sense.